And at the beginning of 1999, the very last time I took acid, I had this experience where it was as if I was laying on this bed and I'd never heard God more clearly to this point in my life. And he basically said to me, look, you got to make a choice. You know me, you grew up in church, you know who I am. I really want you. I really want a relationship with you. I really want you to discover who I am and who you really are. And you know, this is a choice. You need to make a choice right now. And I just knew that if I didn't, life was going to become a lot harder, and the repercussions were going to be just huge. And you know, I didn't want somebody to get hurt on my behalf. I was just tired. I was just tired of living this life and trying to figure out who I was. And at that point, it was just like God was saying, I will help you. I will tell you who you are. I will help you answer these questions. But we need to do things my way. So out of all of this, I was like, all right, we'll do things your way. Why not? You know, I'm willing to give everything a try. So you better live up to your end of the bargain. You know, I'm going to give up a lot, and I know it. So you better meet me, and you better show me. And because you know, I need to see. I need to see you meet me. And that was kind of the discussion. And it wasn't this huge long prayer, this 10 steps of how to come to God or whatever you might want to call it. It was just this, from the bottom of my heart, God, I'm tired. I want to, if you want me to do things a certain way, let's do it. But you need to show me something. And over the course of 1999, I made some major changes in my life. Hard changes. It's hard to live a lifestyle and learn life a certain way for so long, and then all of a sudden have to do it a different way, or begin to do it a different way. It's hard to leave some friends behind. And while I never ever wanted to leave friends behind, there comes a point where you have to respect yourself and the decisions that you're making over what your friends want to do and what they want you to be. You have to make that decision. And if they're not willing to come along for the ride with you, if they're not willing to support you, if they're not willing to let you discover your own journey, then there's just times where you have to make a hard choice. And especially when it comes to addictions, you know, especially, it's just a lifestyle, and sometimes you just have to make a break. And that's what I did, and it was tough. And I regret some of the ways I did some things. I regret some of the things I've said. But, you know, you try to do your best. And so, like, 1999 was just this very tough year for me, because I felt like I was two people that were being simultaneously either torn apart or forced into each other. I wanted to be one person, but my habitual nature kept, you know, making me do things that I didn't necessarily want to do. It was a tough year. But throughout the course of this, it was just like God was saying, all right, you know, we're going to work through this. This is a process. Understand that it's a process. I know that you're not going to be perfect, and we're going to get through this. Let's just keep going. Let's see where this goes, Brian. And so we did, step by step, day by day. I found things slowly starting to turn around. I found things slowly starting to take a new shape and a new direction, and I started to not that I became a different person, but I started to see life a lot differently. And so in 2000, I I met my wife, and we've been married for, it'll be 7 years in August, and we met because of I decided to take a missions trip to Costa Rica, and we met because of that. And we went to Costa Rica. Our first date was in Costa Rica. We met in March, and by April, I already knew we were going to get married. I told her we were supposed to get married. She agreed. Our first date was in Costa Rica, overlooking San Jose, Costa Rica, at this five-star resort. That was our first date. We didn't set it up. It was just because we went on this missions trip and things happened this way, and we just found ourselves sitting there going, wow, this is our first date. You know, and from that point, she moved to Pittsburgh in the beginning of 2001. We got married in 2001. And we found ourselves working in a corporate job, in a cubicle. I was doing graphic design, and we were in this cubicle. We both worked at the same company, and it was just sucking the life out of us. We're just like, there is no way that we're gonna make a life out of this. This is not for us. So we started to explore possibilities like, what are we gonna do? You know, we need some kind of income, so what are we gonna do? So eventually we got into real estate. We started flipping houses. We started finding junkers and fixing them up and making them look nice and selling them. And we did pretty well with that for about 4 years. And up until about 2005, at the end of 2005, then things started to go really wrong, really bad, really quickly. We made a couple bad decisions and a couple bad investments, and we started to, everything just started to sink around us. And from 2006 to 2007, they were the most difficult years of my life. Everything changed, and all of this time I was building this relationship with God. All this time I was going to church and being involved, and feeling pretty good about myself and about being a Christian, and at the same time frustrated with in a lot of ways with the organization of church. I just, over the course of like from 2000 to 2006, I just started to see all these things that just didn't make sense to me. Just like, this isn't church, this isn't what it's supposed to be. But